In this video, I'm going to share 5 ideas and activities to help you support students through grief. In this video, I'm going to share 5 strategies, heartwarming activities, the materials you need for these sessions. I'll even share the target grade level or audience that you can work with these activities. Be sure to watch this video all the way to the end because I'm going to share how you can get a copy of these resources. And number 3 is my absolute favorite, so you got to stick around and watch the video. My name is John and this is Counseling with Mr. B. And on this channel, we talk about all things school counseling. This activity is called the ongoing list. And the materials you'll need are a piece of paper, a writing utensil, and maybe some calm, soft music unless the student wants to sit in silence and do this activity. This idea might work best for upper elementary, middle school, and high school students. Have the students sit with you and on a piece of paper, write down a list of losses. This could look like things that they have lost, feelings that they're experiencing with that person, that pet, or even when that circumstance changed. The goal is to have the students write a running list of all the things that they've lost during grief. This process will allow them to hold space for their pain and grief and identify the feelings that they're feeling while they're in it. It also helps them navigate through the grieving process. This activity can be ongoing, as in the title, so you can start it in one session when you talk with the student, keep that list, or even give them a copy of it. And the next time you see them, they could add more things to it. Grief is a process. Activity number 2, the grief wheel. For this activity, you'll need a highlighter, a writing utensil, and a copy of the grief wheel worksheet. The target audience for this activity is middle and high school. And the goal is to help the student understand where they are in the grieving process. In past sessions with students, I've used the stages of grief cycle, but it may be a little bit too advanced for some students. This activity is a lot easier to understand. Give them a copy of the grief wheel and talk through the process. Break down each one of the 3 parts: loss, recovery, and deterioration. While you're completing this, be sure to encourage your students and let them know that their feelings are valid and normal, whatever they may be. You can actually complete this activity a number of ways. I'm going to show you some examples. Have your student take their finger and trace the grief wheel all the way through twice. The first time they trace the grief wheel, have them end at the recovery process and let them know that this part takes time. The second time they trace the grief wheel, have the student end up in the deterioration phase. Let them know that this may happen and that we must do whatever we can to prepare ourselves and come up with a plan whenever we experience these times of loss, because they can come out of nowhere. You can also give them a list of feeling words or post-it notes and they can write down feelings. Once they wrote down some feelings, they can put them in the identified stage on that grief wheel. For example, under protest, they can write mad, angry, worried, or even sad. If they're open to it, you can also share more advanced feeling words that fall under those categories. I attended a grief training session with the counselors in my district with Heather Lambert from Clear Hope Counseling. And while she was presenting these ideas, another one just popped in my head. So this one is all from me, y'all. The other ideas came from the training. However, me being me, I put my creative touch on each one of these. Be sure to like this video if you are enjoying this so far. Activity number 3, play Subway Surfers. Before you click off this video, trust me, listen to this. You'll need an iPad, a cell phone, or a device where you can download Subway Surfers. You can get it on the App Store or the Play Store on Android. You'll also need chart paper, or you can just have a regular sheet of paper, and markers. Your students can use their own cell phone if they have one, and they can simply download Subway Surfer if it's not already on their phone. This activity works best for upper elementary, middle, and high school students. So this idea works in stages. In stage 1, have the student play Subway Surfers on their own for about 2 to 3 minutes in silence. Don't ask them any questions, just let them play the game. But before they start, tell them to start thinking about what they notice when they see the game visually. Like, what are the visual elements that they see? After they play the game for about 2 to 3 minutes, share these prompts and questions with them. You can guide them through this process, or you can just have these on the chart paper ready to go ahead and share. The surfer jumps over the hurdles and jumps on top of trains. He slides under or jumps over the hurdles. He collects coins, and he's being chased by an officer. These are some of the things that they may either come up with on their own, or again, you can already have these things written down on chart paper. Now here's the reflection piece, and this is the counseling part. Have your students reflect on what each one of these 4 statements means in real life. The possible responses you may get are: grief feelings cause us to have our ups and downs. That's when you're jumping over the hurdles in the game. Coins or rewards that you get throughout the game could be considered coping skills, and they help us to be better and improve. And the officer chasing us through the game could represent feelings that are sneaking up on us or running away from our true feelings. I love this idea because it allows our students to look at real life examples through video games and how we can take care of ourselves and look at the world in a different way. Activity number 4, draw it out. The materials you'll need for this are a piece of paper, a writing utensil, and colors, like whether it's crayons, markers, or color pencils. And the target audience for this activity is elementary, middle, and high school students. Give your student a piece of paper and tell them to draw a picture of what they feel today in this moment, or what they have been feeling. Have them think of the paper as a new container for grief and feelings. That way they're transferring those feelings and thoughts from their brain and their heart and putting them on paper, the new container. You can give them time to complete this in silence, or again, if they want to play some soft music, if that's okay. After they've completed their artwork, use these statements and questions as conversation starters. Tell me about this, or tell me about this part. If your picture had a name, what would it be? What is the hardest part for you when you look at this picture? Where do you feel that in your body? What is the main emotion or feeling shown in this picture? Is there anything that has happened or happens that makes you feel worse or better? What do you wish others would understand when they look at this picture? Is there anything in this picture that's important that I didn't ask? Activity number 5, the body keeps score. Materials you'll need for this activity are simply this image or a worksheet that's similar. This works for elementary, middle, and high school students. In this session, you're going to talk with students about the noticeable and the hidden parts of grief that affect our body. Have them identify and share how grief affects them specifically. For example, some of the things mentioned here are muscles tensing, sweating, or even breathing fast or hyperventilating. Once your student notices how grief affects their body specifically, they can create a proactive plan for when it happens the next time. At the end of this session, you can give them a general list of coping skills so they can pick the plan that works best for them. And if you need ideas to help students pick their own coping skills and create their own plan, I have a video for that, of course. I'll drop it in the description section below. This particular video is working for anger, but it can work for grief or any heavy emotion. If you got value from this, please like this video. It's an easy way to show my channel support, and so YouTube can push this video out so others can see it who need it. And be sure to join my Facebook group, The Learning Lab. You can get ideas for grief and some of the resources mentioned in this video. After watching this video, check out this video on the screen. In this video, I show you how to help students identify their own coping skills and create plans that work for them. This is a 10-minute or less powerful individual counseling session that helps students identify their coping skills. Or check out this other video on the screen where I share 5 activities to help students reduce anxiety and stress. I'll see you next video.